Okay, welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance here on Serious Gaming. Alright. I heard she needed help.
Johanka?
Henry?
I'm glad to see you.
Me too. I heard that you're doing well.
Well, that depends.
You're alive. So you're doing well.
What's happening here? Oh my god. Philip and... they're all...
Yes. Where do you think the wounded ended up?
Actually, I had no idea.
Well, now you know. Me and Nicodemus have been trying to keep things under control since Skalitz was raised. Just the two of us.
So can I help at all?
Certainly. We can always use an extra pair of hands here. And it's been like that since the beginning.
I was in a bad way myself back then. They took me to Rat Eye unconscious and I needed a healer. How is everyone holding up? What can I do?
Holding up? People here are dying, usually needlessly, and I can't do anything about it. We don't have enough food or space or anyone who's willing to help us.
Doesn't the monastery care for them?
They give us some food for them and a place to sleep, but I wouldn't say they help exactly. More like they just tolerate us.
Do you have enough food?
Enough to survive, maybe, but convalescents need feeding up.
Maybe if I brought some meat, some game, that would strengthen them up.
That would be a great help.
Anything else you need?
Look around.
Well, it is a little crowded.
Crowded? I've had to leave some of the sick lying in the open air, even at night. And have you seen what they're lying on?
I'll try to negotiate better conditions with the monastery.
I tried that, out loud. They just nod their heads, but don't move a muscle.
Very well. Why is there a guard outside?
He's here because of me.
Because of you?
Yes. There was one time I just had enough of it all, of the way they treat us, and I almost slapped one of... But that doesn't matter.
And how are you doing? You're the only woman here, alone in the monastery.
Some of the monks speak to me, but other people act like I don't exist. Too bad the custodian isn't one of those.
Is the custodian causing you problems?
All the time. Apparently he has a wife somewhere, but that doesn't stop him. He's constantly strutting around in front of me.
And, what else?
What do you mean, what else? He's invited me to his home.
I could do something about it, if you liked.
No, I can deal with him. The last thing I need is you going around threatening people. It won't help me, and it definitely won't help the refugees.
What can you tell me about the custodian?
He's supposed to be in charge of all the guards and the security of the monastery. But really, he has a say in pretty much everything, including supplies. And that's why he probably thinks he can do whatever he wants.
Doesn't anyone help you with nursing these people? You've got scholars all around you.
Scholars, maybe, but they leave the healing up to God. Nicodemus is trying, but everything he knows is from his books.
Can I have a look at them myself? I know a little about healing.
Do you now? And what would you do if you burnt yourself at the forge?
First, you have to cool it down with water. Marigold ointment helps, and it's better if you don't bind it and let it breathe.
You do know what you're talking about. Looks like blacksmiths know about more than just pulling teeth.
Pulling teeth? Nothing to it. As long as you don't squeeze the pincers too hard and crush them.
Well, go and see if anyone needs anything. Just don't go pulling anyone's teeth.
All right, that's all I need to know.
Look, Henry, I know I can speak harshly, but I'm at the end of my tether. Last week Bohuslav died. Maybe you knew him. And nobody even blinked an eye. We desperately need help.
I'll do whatever's in my power. These wounds have been well taken care of.
Christ above! I can't get a wink of sleep.
What are you making such a fuss about?
A fuss? Because of my leg, I have to stay here for at least another week. Hurts like fuck. And with everyone else moaning and groaning all night, I can't get any sleep.
Maybe I can make you something to help you sleep.
Oh, then for God's sake, do it quickly.
Everything here is fine. Philip, from Skalitz. I don't see any wounds, but he's shaking terribly. He'll be able to get out of this on his own. These wounds have been well taken care of.
Yeah? Damn, why are you waking me?
You're not from Skalitz?
No, but please help me. I can't stay here.
What happened to you?
I was working on the building when the scaffolding up by the roof collapsed underneath me.
Well, and you're very lucky you survived at all.
Yes, that's what everyone tells me. But it's no use being alive if all I can do is lie here like a wet sack of barley.
Well, you're pretty battered, but I don't see anything that a few weeks' rest can't fix.
Weeks? My God, I have to get back to work sooner than that.
What's the problem? Why can't you stay until you heal?
I have a family. I'm poor. It's only thanks to the building work that we can survive. And the master told me if I don't come back in a few days, then I shouldn't come back at all. And where can me and my wife go then? Who'll take us in? We'll end up living in the woods, where any bandit or ruffian can set on us.
Is there anything I can do to help? It looks like they took care of your wounds.
When I was little, my father got trampled on by a horse, and an old hag from the village gave him some kind of purple herbs for it. And he got better very quickly.
And do you remember what the herbs were?
I don't. But there's supposed to be the whole cursed knowledge of the world in this place. Something has to be written about it. A herbarium. Anything.
I'll try to find something.
Thank you. Thank you.
Huh? Shit. What's going on?
You look all right?
Mostly, but my leg still hurts.
Did the cumins wound you?
That's what I tell the ladies. Truth is, I did myself a mischief while I was running away.
And do they rebandage it for you?
Occasionally. They told me they don't have enough bandages.
Well, that's no use. Those bandages need changing. I've got bandages, so I can take care of it.
Wonderful. Could you tell Brother Nicodemus?
I can do it myself.
I thought you were a blacksmith.
A long time ago. But unfortunately, I've had to learn a thing or two about the art of medicine since then.
Well, fine then. Huh? Damn. Why are you waking me?
How are you feeling?
Good. It feels clean. Hope it helps.
It will. Tell them to rebandage you daily. You have the bandages here.
Thank you very much, Henry.
Don't mention it. I'm not needed here. These wounds have been well taken care of. He's not reacting. But all I can see that's wrong with him is his leg. I have to ask Johanka. What's wrong with that man by the altar? He doesn't look wounded, but he's really pale and doesn't react at all.
He had a broken leg. A bad one. The bone had come right through the skin. We tried to straighten it, but I don't know if we did it right. I'm not holding out much hope for him. I've seen folk in that state before, and it didn't end well.
My God, there has to be something we can do.
And what do you suggest? The monks won't help, and I don't know anyone else who can.
Well, I can try. I'll straighten his leg.
You?
Unfortunately, I've had occasion to try this sort of thing before. You have to place the bones as precisely as you can next to each other. It's hard, but you have to ignore any screams of pain. That's the only way to help him.
Well, fine. Try it then.
One of the sick men, Semek, is complaining about pain and the fact he can't work. He says he...
Semek? Is he one of our people?
No, he's a construction worker. He's bruised and confined to...
Henry, for God's sake, our neighbours are dying here. You're friends. There isn't time to waste on some construction worker's bruises. Oh, honestly, what were you thinking?
Listen, all I need to find out is the name of a herb.
Then go and look it up in a book. You've got your own herbarium, haven't you?
What happened to Philip?
Poor man. There was nothing wrong with him, and now he's getting worse every day.
But do you know why?
Maybe. He didn't run away from Skalitz, you see. He hid for days, among the corpses. If he got poisoned.
But what can we do?
Us? Nothing. Only Father Simon might have been able to save him. He knew a lot about poisons.
And where is he?
You know he left Skalitz years ago.
And does anyone know where he ended up?
If you believe the stories about a wild man in the woods, then Rovnar is the place to go.
Tell me more about the situation here. All right. Are you holding him firmly?
Aye.
Done.
God save, Henry.
You're the one who's in charge of the wounded.
Yes, I'm the infirmarius here. Time was I only had a few elderly monks who couldn't walk to take care of. Now I have this mess to deal with.
Monks so old they can't hold themselves up with their own legs.
If that were the only bodily function they could control. But I shouldn't talk like that. It's a blessing to live to such an age.
Why are they so badly provided for? People are crammed in next to each other, and some have to sleep outside. That can't be good for them. It gets freezing here at night.
I can't afford anything more for them.
How is that possible? You're the infirmarius. You decide how all the money gets spent.
But I have no say in how much money I'm given. And because the abbot's away, it's still the same amount I had when I was taking care of a few old men.
And the local custodian? His crew has enough provisions.
I tried him, but it seems he had some disagreement with Johanka, and now he won't give us anything.
I'll try to talk to him. Can't you do anything? Won't the others help?
Unfortunately not. The brothers in the cloister aren't much interested in the external world, and the custodian has enough on his plate with the chaos in the region. Besides, his main concern is the smooth running of the monastery.
Even so, conditions here seem to me quite unchristian.
You're not the only one.
How about some potion to induce heavy sleep?
Certainly, the old reliable.
Reliable?
Some of the brothers like a good sleep, and sometimes that's the only way to get one. I'll show you how.
Thanks. Do you know anything about herbs?
I'm not an expert, but I know a little something. Is it urgent?
Well, one of the workers who was injured during construction would like to get back to work. He mentioned some purple flowers that would...
Herbs.
Oh, purple herbs that should help.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but you can have a look in the herbarium here. There won't be too many purple herbs for bruises and sprains.
I'd like to learn something from you.
And what can you do?
A bit of everything.
Can you now? But to be more precise, do you understand herbs and medicinal plants?
To be honest, not really.
So what am I supposed to do with you? Well, never mind. At least you'll learn something new. Go to the herb garden, take a good look at what's growing there, and then pull up the weeds in the herbaceous beds. Is that clear?
Clear. I can get cracking.
Not so fast. Have I even told you what I consider a weed? It's dandelions, stinging nettles, and thistles. Those plants have their use, but they've no business growing among the euphrasia and the mentha, or anywhere else in that garden for that matter.
Where is it they're not supposed to grow?
Between the mint and the eyebrights. Once you've cleared the garden of weeds, come back. And woe betide you if you pull up anything but weeds.
Don't worry, you've never had as good a gardener. Would you teach me more about alchemy?
Certainly.
Well,
Okay, so I do need to do quite a few activities. Bring boar meat, more fights, champs on the river, bring the seal to the vagabond. Hold on, let's see if he's still... He is, unfortunately. Nothing I can do about that. Bring back some game meat to the infirmary. Find something to help the insomniac fall asleep. Get healing herbs to Senek.
Can we do something about the price?
Well, we could...
Satisfied?
We're getting there, just... Alright.
Okay, now I just need to make a sleeping potion. Let me see the... Okay, this should work. Hopefully. Okay, drop this. And then cook it. Not boil, cook. For 2 turns. And then distill it. Alright.
another one that's going to be taking food out of our mouths.
How are the wounded from Skalitz?
Some of them are well taken care of, but others are dying here needlessly. It's a good thing we have Johanka here. I'd never be able to manage on my own.
So you don't normally treat the wounded then?
Well, there were accidents, of course. A broken leg, someone who'd been kicked by a cow or bitten by a goat. But this, I've never dealt with the carnage of battle before.
If only it had been a battle. This was cold-blooded slaughter.
You were there? God be merciful to you and the dead and the wounded.
What do you think about the custodian?
Baron von Berg? Well, he does his job well. He keeps us safe here. And the last time I saw him was when I was rubbing ointment on his rash.
I heard he's been here a lot lately.
That's true. He comes to visit Johanka. But he's never here long, and he always leaves unsatisfied.
Thank you. And who are you?
Brother Elias.
What do you do here?
What I can. I'm just trying to help the Skalitz locals as much as I can.
Do you know anything about healing?
A little. I can manage the basics, but without Brother Nicodemus, I'd never be able to deal with the more difficult cases.
And what do you do here exactly?
Mainly, I help Brother Nicodemus. Occasionally, I keep watch at night in case someone takes a turn for the worse. Sometimes I have to hold a patient down, or fetch and carry things.
How long have you been helping here?
Since before the refugees arrived. It was much less crowded back then.
Thank you. Tell me more about it. All right, that's all.
I have a potion that should help him. No, hold on, I was wrong about that. I made the wrong stuff. Hold on. But then I don't. Well, I did screw up on that one. I need Poppy and Tistle. Alright. Okay, so Poppy and boil, Tistle and boil, and then let it cool. And it's with oil. Okay. Mm-hmm. Alright, just want to wait for it to cool down.
I've got something for you.
Really?
Drink this, and you'll fall straight to sleep.
Oh, thank you.
Dear Mistress Johanka, I come again in admiration of your selfless dedication. I would like to invite you to a fine banquet at my palace. You certainly have earned What business have you here, fellow? Who let you in?
I'm taking care of the wounded, as I'm sure you're aware.
Ah. Well then, run along and take care of them, and let me talk to Johanka. You're not needed here.
Wouldn't it be better to have the banquet here, custodian?
What?
If you won't give the sick anything else, couldn't you at least hold the banquet here?
Nobody's going to talk to me that way. Lock him up for the night and let him learn some manners.
Ask me, you didn't get half what you deserved, you pup. I'll remember you.
A shame I can't swim.
Wait, am I really supposed to go to Ravna? Find it. Okay. There's purple herbs that would supposedly they grow by the... There we go. I need to check that again to see exactly which herbs I need. The herbarium.
I'm honored that you should come to me.
I have some, well, trophies.
Let's have them. Very nice, very nice.
I'm helping at the infirmary now, and I came to...
Ah, and how is Johanka? Do you know her well?
Yes, I do.
Good, good. Does she ever talk about me?
Sometimes. A little.
That's good. Excellent. Johanka means a lot to me.
I'm mainly here for supplies and to talk about the state of the wounded from Skalitz. They need blankets, food...
Well, that's not my problem. Let the infirmarius take care of it.
His hands are tied. Until the abbot comes back, he can't get anything.
And why should that interest me?
Maybe because of Johanka.
What precisely are you getting at?
Something could happen to her too, someday.
If any ill befalls my dear Johanka, she won't be left lying on some grubby floor. I'll personally see to it she's taken care of.
Because I'll pay you.
For supplies? But of course. That will be...
Oh, come off it. You get your supplies from the monastery for free. No one will bat an eyelid if you ask for more. Blankets can get chewed up by mice. Food can go off. Satisfied?
Come now, just a little more and we have a deal. Yes, these things happen, certainly. And as long as the monastery needs my protection, they'll have to put up with it.
I've come from Captain Robard.
And what might the captain be wanting to let me know?
I'm not a messenger. I've nothing to report. The captain thought I could lend you a hand.
Oh, so it's you, the hero of Talmberg. So be it. If you succeed, I'll gladly reward you. And if you don't, I won't be shedding any tears. We know that one of their encampments is on the hill by Skalitz, nearby the mines.
I'll take a look there.
Jesus, look! Hey!
God's...
That custodian Sebastian is really obnoxious.
He can be unpleasant, but in his own way. I don't know.
You can't be serious.
What's that supposed to mean? At least he was here, unlike you, the whole time. And anyway, mind your own business.
These wounds have been well taken care of. Tell me more about the situation here. All right. Hopefully I have what...
No. This doesn't look like what the hag gave us that time.
Oh, it's... Hopefully...
No.
Hope.
No.
Hopefully I.
No.
Hopefully I have.
No.
How do I know which are the weeds?
You see, this is the part where you learn something. Look in the herbarium to find out what a dandelion, stinging nettle, and thistle look like.
I see.
Oh,
Hopefully.
No.
How do I?
You see, this is the...
I see. How do I know which are the weeds?
You see, this is the part where you learn something. Look in the herbarium to find out what a dandelion, stinging nettle, and thistle look like.
Where is it they're not supposed to grow?
Between the mint and the eyebrights.
Hopefully.
No.
Peace at last.
How do I know?
You see, this is the part where you learn something. Look in the herbarium to find out what a dandelion, stinging nettle, and thistle look like.
Where is it they're not supposed to grow?
Between the mint and the eyebrights.
Alright, that should do it. That should be all the dandelions I need.
It's done.
Did you weed the beds and leave what should be growing there alone?
Not a leaf wasted.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm going to check with my own eyes.
God be with you, Henry.
I'm fairly certain I did not pick up any of the plants that he didn't want me to pick up. Alright, just waiting for him.
Were you satisfied with my weeding?
It wasn't the best work I've ever seen, but you pulled up more weeds than herbs, so you deserve a reward.
Do you need any more help?
You can't afford to botch this job like you did last time, so pay close attention. We have some new brothers who are meant to help me with the wounded, but not all of them know their medicinal herbs as well as I'd hope. They'll have to be taught.
I'm not much of a teacher.
I should imagine not. But you won't be doing any teaching, just helping me put together our new herbarium. I shall need all of the herbs mentioned in the old one.
That sounds easy. I'll be right back.
Don't be so sure. Some of the herbs are shy little things, prone to hiding from sight. When you've collected one of each, come back for your reward. One more thing. Bring me some old book or other. We'll scrape off the old ink to make a palimpsest, and use the blank pages for the herbarium.
An old book. Very well.
Alright, I do have pretty much everything, I think. Yes, I do, actually. I was pretty certain I had screwed up with that. I guess I did. Oh well, I'll go back to the brother and give him everything that I need. What I need though.
I've got those herbs you wanted.
Let me see if you have everything. Are you trying to waste my time? Come back when you have all the herbs.
Well, I just need a handbane then. Time to go out in the wilderness. Besides, I need to get the Skalitz anyway. Hold on. Where would I find the henbane? Nettle. Nope. Alright, I need to get out of here then. Hold on. That is a dandelion. Oh shit. Okay then. That's right, one way out. Where's that damn henbane where I need it? No, just nettle. Fine. Time to march north, I'd say. Hold on though. There are other things to deal with as well. Oh, I didn't have a comfrey. Okay, that's just my problem. Don't know what the fuck I wasted that one on. That I can deal with. I'll just buy one from him. Or pick it up from the garden, I guess. Though I really need a henbane, I just have no clue where I could find one. Does say it grows on dung, but... Or could I find a good spot for that? Thistle. I don't, like, I know I picked up only the things that he told me to, but I guess I was picking them up in places that he didn't want me to touch, in terms of what happened earlier, that the quest act as if I, in a sense, failed. Alright, Comfrey.
I've got those herbs.
Let me see if you have everything. Excellent, you have all the plants. I'll take those from you. And what of the book? Did you remember to bring it?
I certainly did. Here it is.
Thank you for everything. I'll set someone the task of scraping away the old ink and making the herbarium.
It was my pleasure. How can I help you?
Have you talked to Johanka?
I did.
Well, if you know something about it, then go and take a look. However, you don't look like you've studied the Hippocratic arts.
That's true. I'm the son of a blacksmith, but I have been around the wounded before. What do I do if I'm not sure of the treatment?
Come and speak to me. We'll see what we can do.
Thank you. Would you teach me?
Certainly.
I'm interested.
Wouldn't you rather learn?
Well.
Did I try to give him sage? Maybe that would work. But either way, that's not the priority at the moment for me. I need to go to Skalitz. Okay. Bring some game meat. Help with the healing of the sick. Kill the camp leader right there. That's pretty far away, actually.
Well now, look what's come crawling out from under some rock.
Don't.
Okay, let's see. Well, obviously this is something that I'm going to sell. This one as well. Well, this one might be worth keeping, but obviously I can't repair it at the moment. So, can't use that. Well, the pauldrons that I have. Okay, Nuremberg plate pauldrons. Okay. Right. Nobleman's gauntlets. So Nuremberg gauntlets get put in the inventory and gonna be sold. Those pauldrons are better than the riveted ones that I do have, even in their current damage condition. So I think I'll wear these Nuremberg plate pauldrons. Noble mail coif. Yeah, this one I'll actually use, so I'll repair it. And Yeah, these probably, maybe? No. Actually, no. So I've kept what I want to use. Well on the Gambeson, maybe. Okay, that would certainly look better than the current ones I have. Current one I have. In a sense, I suppose, but I think I'll stick with what I have. Alright. Move that one, move that one. I'll just sell them. Alright. Anything else? Probably not. Removing the bow. I just don't like how it looks. And Henry's fucking back. Alright, Ravna.
I'm at your service tonight.
I see there's not much going on around here. So you've stayed here on your own?
Quite so. All by myself. All the others were either killed by the Cumans or fled to Rattay.
I'm sorry to hear that. And what's keeping you here, alone?
My older brother ran away with the wandering players. So when our father was on his deathbed, he made me swear I'd never leave our home.
I can see you took your vow seriously.
I did. But it's starting to get dangerous around here. Again.
The Cumans.
If it were Cumans, I'd grab an axe and that would be that. But a week back, some rabble made their way through here. They begged me for food, and mark my words, they weren't taking no for an answer. If they'd been just a tad hungrier, I swear they would have stormed the cottage.
There are gangs like that around, true enough. I saw the mess they left behind. Savages.
It was horrible. People tried to find shelter in the church, but them dogs was waiting. They knew too well that's where folk would try to hide.
And where did you hide?
By the grace of God, I got my family away into the woods.
And I don't see your family with you. I hope those bastards didn't sniff them out.
No, it takes better man than them to track me down. I sent my wife to Rattay with some others.
Do you think folk will ever go back to their homes?
Oh, I don't know about Skalitz, but the folk here are sure to want to come back. The only thing they're missing is spiritual support.
Do you mean the priest?
Indeed. When the land's at war, noblemen fight to protect their property. But simple folk want someone to tend their souls.
Of course. But it was the Skalitz parish priest who ministered here, wasn't it?
He did. But there's been no sign of him since the attack. Or at least he's definitely not in Rattay among the refugees.
That's true enough. I didn't see him there.
But if you're interested, young fella, maybe you could help us find the priest we need here.
Isn't it up to the bishop to appoint a priest?
Oh, you're probably right. But he don't seem interested in doing it. Why waste time finding a priest for a village with just one old fool in it?
Yeah, you're probably right. I can always ask. But I've heard where the Skalitz priest went.
That's great news. Although I had my eye on another priest.
You might as well tell me who he is. What I heard about the Skalitz priest might just be rumours.
True. Well then, a few years ago there used to be another priest in Skalitz. Simon, I think his name was.
Simon? Father Simon, I remember him. That's the one who went missing, right?
Aye. I don't want to spread rumours, but they say he was in love with his housekeeper. And then she died somehow, poor thing.
That's not a story I've come across.
It only reaches folk who care for such tales. Well, to finish the story, Simon left the parish and ran away. You know that already. There was neither sight nor sound of him for a long time. Until this spring, he showed up here.
And what's he doing here?
That's just it. People say he's become a hermit.
All right. And where can I find him?
I couldn't tell you exactly, but you could start by talking to that girl's parents. Well, they live on a farm nearby, and it's likely they know more. They may even have had words with him.
I'll go and see what they have to say for themselves.
God go with you, lad, and I pray you find him. If some heathen stabs me in my sleep, I'd rather have a decent burial.
Don't worry. I'll bring someone.
Hey!
Might find what I need right here. No. Thistle. I don't even know how the hell it looks like. Henbane, that's what I'm looking for. I could see about the Skalitz priest in Sasau. Hold on, what about those red ones? No, that's just poppy. Thistle. Either way, I'm heading to Skalitz. There's also a bandit camp I'll need to deal with. And I can. Should be no problem, actually. Alright, the dove coat.
It's here. Baron's lucky no one found it. I should bring it to him.
I'm honored that you should come to me.
It may sound strange, but I'm looking for Simon, the priest.
Father Simon? I last saw him when he was paying me damages. That was back when Mary was still with us. If you want to know something, ask the wife. I don't have the time or the will to talk about that man.
I understand. Thank you.
Who's there? What are you doing there?
I'm looking for the priest,
Hey,
Father
who's
Simon,
there?
and I heard you might know of him.
Simon? What do you want him for?
I'm looking for the priest who used to take care of St. James, and the locals tell me they saw him around here.
I don't know if I can help you there. He'll never go back to his parish, if you ask me. Very well. What is it you want to know?
What went on between Simon and your daughter?
Nothing that hasn't happened before. Our Mary was his housemaid in Skalitz. She was pretty, very pretty. And he was young, and so things went the way they do between comely young folk. She came back home one day, heavy with child.
Hey, what are you up to?
Yes,
that?
these things happen. What can you do?
I said as much. I was just glad our girl was provided for. Only she never had the chance to hold that babe in her arms. She didn't live through the birth.
I'm very sorry.
Such is a woman's lot in life. Men die in battle, and women in the arms of the midwife.
And what happened to Simon?
The poor man. He took it the worst. He was sure God's wrath smote Mary for her fornication.
That's rubbish. People lie together out of wedlock all the time, and God never smites them down.
That's just what I told him. But it's hardly my place to lecture a priest. And who knows? Maybe he was right. The Lord moves in mysterious ways. He was overflowing with grief. He barely spoke, didn't eat, refused to take a new housemaid. And then, one fine day, the presbytery was deserted. It took a good season before another priest came along.
Where can I find him? He's said to be wandering around here somewhere.
I heard that too, and I'm inclined to believe it, even though I haven't seen him myself.
How come?
After our poor Mary went to her rest, we used some of the money he'd paid us to put a cross up by the roadside. And lately, there's been wreaths of comfrey turning up next to it. I don't take them there, nor my husband neither.
You think Simon does?
Who knows? Maybe it's a miracle. I could believe anything. But there's not been fresh ones for a while, so perhaps he's moved on elsewhere again.
I see. Can you tell me where that cross is?
Certainly. There are settling tanks for the mines to the west of Skalitz. On the hill above them in the woods, there are several paths. Mary's cross is by one of them, close to the brook.
All right, thanks.
I'll be going.
Very good then. And if you do find him, let him know that we have no hard feelings.
I'll tell him. This must be that cross. Mary's mother was right. Someone did lay flowers here recently. I should have a look around and see if there's comfrey growing anywhere nearby.
Be a bit more careful. Hey, you. What are you doing here?
Henry, I'm glad you came.
I've come for the priest. Simon.
There's no one here called that.
There is. Do you take me for a fool?
All right.
God be with you, Henry.
Maybe there is someone here. What of it? We're not going anywhere.
I think you should talk less and move your legs more.
And why is that? You think you've got what it takes to beat us?
I might. But it doesn't matter, because I saw you yesterday, and then stopped by Talmberg to report. So, unless you'd rather wait for Sedivish's Captain Robard, you should go now.
Shit. All right, we'll go. How far are they?
Far enough, still. If you run, I'm sure you'll get away.
Right. Thanks for the warning.
Oh, thank you, my son. I was beginning to fear I'd never get out of here alive.
They didn't look dangerous. The only thing at risk was your possessions.
I know, poor fools. But I was afraid they'd leave me here. What would I have done then? And to whom do I owe my salvation?
My name's Henry. You may remember me. I'm the son of the Skalitz blacksmith.
Your face does seem familiar. But listen, Henry, I can't help feeling you didn't stumble across me by accident.
It's true. I've come to ask a favor of you.
Me? What on earth could I do for you?
I need you to go back to St. James. The folk there need spiritual guidance. Skalitz has a burned-out shell, and many have died in St. James. They need a priest. Any priest.
I understand, but I have to disappoint you. I gave up my calling. Instead, I've given myself over to repentance.
I know your story, Father.
Then you know what I'm guilty of.
Yes, and I don't want to try to make light of it. Your conscience is your own affair, but I know that deep down you're a good man.
You don't know what you're saying. You don't know me.
But I know what you did. Many priests break God's commandments willy-nilly and aren't the least ashamed.
That doesn't absolve me of my sins. God's law is set, no matter how often it's violated.
You're certainly right, but the people need you. And forgive me for being blunt, but while you can leave the presbytery if you choose, it doesn't absolve you of your duty to Christian folk.
But I'm a sinner. I'm not fit to guide anyone. I'm unworthy to do so.
Priests, bishops, monks, abbots, they're all sinners. Even the Holy Father himself is a sinner. You've done your penance, and now your people need you.
You're probably right. It is my duty. At least for a time, until they find someone better.
I don't think they'll find anyone better in a hurry.
All right. I'll take what I can carry and go back to St. James.
Thank you. Your parishioners will be very grateful. I need help with treatment.
And what's wrong with you?
Oh, nothing. But Philip from Skalitz is dying. He's lying in Sasau and won't last long.
Slowly now. What happened to him?
Nobody knows much. He's not wounded, but I heard he was hiding from the Cumans for days in a pile of carcasses.
The Lord have mercy. The living should never lie with the dead. His intestines must be purged, but even then he's in God's hands.
How do I clean his intestines?
It might surprise you, but you'll have to give him alcoholic spirits. The purest you can get your hands on. The best is distilled from Artemisia. It'll make him a bit delirious, but it'll help. I'll show you how to prepare it.
I don't see any way I can get down there. This is a mine though, isn't it? So what am I to do? I also don't have the plant that I need for that guy. Or do I? Well, I can try, I suppose. Clearly these fellows aren't gonna make it easy.
Answer to my prayer. Just when I wanted to vent my rage.
To arms! Get over here!
You'll get one. I'll slaughter you. You're dead. What's the matter? Come on. Go. Ow. Bring it on. Fuck it. You'll get one for. Come here, Lily Liver. God damn! What's the matter? Come on! I'll slaughter you. Well then. I'm gonna enjoy this. What's up, Sheffield? Bring it on. Come here, Lily Liver.
Well, that was a bit frustrating.
What are you doing?
Okay then, Costin here on Serious Gaming signing out. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video.